Hi, hello, welcome to this video. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are watching this from. I am Sujaya C, your intuitive parenting coach. I make videos on parenting. I help reduce the stress that you have while you are going through this parenting journey, while going these nitty-gritty issues that you face with the little friction, the little conflicts that you face with your child. And if you watch this video to the end, you will exactly know what kind of manipulation is happening from the child's end and where did actually this come from. And not just that, we'll dig into where the child is actually learning all these from. Yes, and what you can do to help stop that. So yes, so make sure you also click on the like and subscribe button and hit that bell icon so that you will receive notifications whenever I upload new content. And let's get started. So in this video, yes, in this video, let's understand, does it ever happen to you that your child says, maybe your child is playing a game, yeah, maybe game on a screen or a physical game with friends, with siblings, and you've been calling the child for meal, for homework, for drinking milk, for snacks, or whatever it is that you're calling your child for. Child keeps saying 1 minute, 1 minute, and then the pitch increases. 1 minute. I told you 1 minute. Why do you keep recalling me repeatedly? Does this happen? Did you hear this from your child? Or just say 5 minutes, 5 minutes, and that 5 minutes never ends. So, where did this come from? I mean, again, all respects to every parent out there. But if you actually look into it, yes, if you actually look into where child has actually learned it from, these statements have been very casually, by default, being in a state of unawareness, have been told repeatedly by parents around, right from when the child was an infant. The child keeps hearing such statements. That's what this that is. Those are the same statements that the child is also telling out. And if you are wondering, when did I say that? Let me give you this example. Not examples, let me give you such experiences where have you been in kitchen and your child was calling you, or have you been on your phone mailing something or ordering some groceries for home, or you're on your office call or your office work, and yeah, your child is calling for something, child is calling you for something. Then you keep telling, huh, I'm coming. Yes, I'm coming. Huh, I. Yes, 2 minutes. Yes, 1 minute. I'm just coming to you. Did this ever happen to you? Yes, if it has happened, just type out yes in the chat box. So, yes, even when you are in the kitchen, by default, very casually, we as parents use such statements. When you are using such statement like yes, I'm coming, but not turning up, then what is a child learning? So we are not giving value to that statement, right? The parent is not giving value to that statement. Yes, I'm coming in 1 minute. Yes, I'm coming in 1. Arey Baba, why do you keep calling me so repeatedly? I told you I'm coming. I'm coming in 2 minutes, but you are not coming. But Mama, you are not coming from the kitchen. I don't see you walking from the kitchen, etc., etc., etc. Right? So when you, as a parent, are not giving value to the words that you speak, you're not standing by the words that you speak, what can we expect from the child? So again, going back to our basics, I'm not here to talk about give you some parenting tips, tricks, hacks to get things done easily by your child. Coming back to roots, yes, what does a child learn? Child learns what the parent does. The child does not learn from what the parent says, but children learn from what the parent does, from what you do. Your child doesn't do what you say, the child does what you do. Yes, there's just one tiny example of manipulation, the big word manipulation, one tiny example of manipulation that got imbibed by the child from parent herself or parent himself, whoever it was, or if it's not just a parent, some other adult at home. Because if you pretty much see, this is kind of a default reaction, is kind of, these statements are very casually spoken. Yes, I'm coming in 5 minutes, but we don't turn up in 5 minutes. Maybe it's not happening to your child, but maybe it's been happening. Yes, maybe you're meeting your friend. Okay, we'll meet around 4 p.m., but at 4 p.m. you don't meet, you don't go there. Yes, so going back, the more aligned you are, yes, the more aligned you are to what you say, to what you think, to what you say, and what you do, that is what gets passed down to your child. When you do not value your statement, you cannot expect your child to value the statement. That not even, yes, the child cannot value your statement, as well as the child is also learning to speak by default, not consciously, but just say something. Okay, I'm coming in 1 minute. Okay, I'm coming in 2 minutes, etc., etc., etc. This is just a very tiny example of the big word called manipulation. Let's understand more about this manipulation. So what else do we do when our children as infants, what else do we do? Maybe your child has spotted some item, and your child knows that it is there. I have seen that dairy milk and I know it's there at home, but somehow you hide it somewhere, you keep it somewhere else, you kind of ignore or you kind of divert your child. And um, and again, like, if it's a life threatening experience, if it's a life threatening situation, yes, it is totally different. But are you using hiding or ignoring and diverting by default? Yes. Are you using them in most of your instances of in most of the occurrences of tantrums that your child is creating at home? That's what you got to look into yourself. Yes. So yes, the item is there, but we say the item is not there. Yeah, but the child subconscious knows, no, 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 I've seen that. And slowly the child's ability to trust his or her own intuition reduces, because the child's intuition is saying yes, it is there, but the adult is saying with loud voice, with a raised voice, no, it's not there. Just stop this nonsense, it's not there. Yes. So the child's ability to trust to his or her own self reduces with more of such instances. The child is drawn away from his or her own intuition. Now, if you do not know what intuition is, then my core working principle for coach parents is towards intuition is about intuition. I talk about intuitive parenting, I talk about intuitive living. So just hang by, and you will definitely find some of the other videos also that talk about intuition. But intuition is that very important guiding, that important guiding system, or the guidance system that everybody has within themselves. But you may not be able to realize that its presence, you may not be able to realize its existence within you, because it's the way that it's the way how society works, it's the way how humans have been trained and tuned and tamed and trained to be in a certain way and do this, do that, etc., etc., etc. You rarely trust your own inner voice, you rarely trust your own intuition. Okay, somebody has told that, okay, that should be true. Yes, but you do have that kind of gut feeling from it's coming from inside of you. No, I believe this is something else. I know it should be. No, this is not the reality. I know this is not the reality. But do you have that belief system within you, through which you can say, no, this is what I believe, be it regarding anything, any minor thing that's happening in your house, or anything that's happening in society, or anything that is happening in your life. This is what I believe will happen for myself. That is a strong gut feeling that you got to develop, that you already have. This inner voice, this intuition, you already have. Now, see, yes, so you already have it, but are you able to hear it out? Yes, are you able to listen to it? That is a major question. So the children already are connected, very well connected to their intuition, but the more we manipulate children, the more we ignore and divert the child from, in terms of manipulation, the child is getting pulled away from his or her own intuition. That means the child, again, the belief system, the self belief system starts to reduce, right? So more about intuition, I'll definitely make another video as well. But yeah, coming back to this big concept, that is manipulation. Where did the child learn to manipulate? Yeah. So another example, a very fun, very practical, very realistic experiences. Maybe you've had it, maybe you've had them. Yeah. Gulp something in the mouth, and then we say, oh, nothing, I don't have anything in my mouth, hiding it away from the child. Yes, yes, there could be reasons. I don't want to go into reasons now. Yes, there are, you might be having genuine reasons. Yes. But what I'm trying to say is, whatever the parent has done, the child is just doing that. Yes, if you want your child to return after 5 minutes, then you have to start doing that. When you say, when you are in the kitchen and you're saying, coming, I'm coming in 2 minutes, then you got to go in 2 minutes. If that is not possible, then please tell the child, I'm in the middle of making this roti, I'm in the middle of making this dosa, I'm in the middle of putting this tadka, and if I walk away, then it will burn, it will become black. I have to stay here for another 3 minutes, then I have to do this, and I'll be there in like 3.5 minutes or 4 minutes. These these are the these are the practical ways through which Your child learns about time. Your child learns about what is it that you are doing. Your child learns about how is it that you are speaking, learns from the way you're speaking. And your child also learns how we got to speak and how we got to value what we say. Yes. So when you're not doing it, when you're not doing it, so it's like you don't come back in 2 minutes, you don't come back in 5 minutes, but then the child is saying, okay, I'm coming back in 5 minutes from play, for example, from playground. And then the parent is like lecturing, you always keep telling 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, but you just don't come back anything. You just don't come back. You just don't, you always keep extending the time, etc., etc., etc. Yes, maybe the child just cannot articulate this sentence that I don't know, I just keep listening to this statement from you, but your child subconscious very well knows where the subconscious actually caught that statement from. Whereas when you are realistically creating this time that yes, I need 3 minutes to flip over this chapati, I need 3 minutes to flip over this dosa, I just cannot come to you immediately. Yes, it will take 2 minutes and I will be there in 2 minutes. And you right after you flip over the dosa, you reduce the stove and you go there in 2 minutes. That is when you are walking the talk. That is when your child is seeing that okay, my parent, my mother, my father told me that they would come in 2 minutes and they're here in 2 minutes. And that is when your child will start to come back, or your child will not say just 2 minutes, 2 minutes blindly. Your child will say, mama, this game will take 10 minutes and I will be there after 10 minutes. And when your child is saying that, your child is saying this statement, telling such a long statement consciously. And when the child is saying it consciously, the child is also working upon closing the game or winding down the game and moving to the next activity, that is going back home or meal time or homework time or whatever it is. Yes, that is what happens from the child's end consciously when it happens from the parent's end consciously. So consciously you got to speak that okay, I will come there in 5 minutes, okay, I will be there in 3 minutes, and then you got to show up there. You got to show up there. So this is just one example. Some other examples, as I've told you, is hiding stuff, or some other examples are the child knows that it is there, but you are maybe saying it's not there, or gulping something in the mouth and then pretending it's not there. Yes. So all of these things you will start to you will start to see that happening from your child's end, and then you it's like choking you, and it's like oh my god, my child is doing this to me, my child is not being truthful to me, or my child is having junk in the neighbor's house and then coming home and telling me that I didn't take junk, the auntie only forced me to eat, but then the auntie says that I didn't give him, he was only asking me for this junk, etc., etc., etc. Yes. So the basic concept of manipulating, or in other words, it is lying. But do not worry, it's not such a big crime. Yes, such a big crime meaning yes, you got to be integral. You got to be your thoughts, your words, and your actions have to be aligned, unless it's a life-threatening situation, right? Unless it's a life threatening situation, it got to be aligned. And when you are doing it, and when you are respecting your thoughts, when you are giving value to what you say, you are showing up to your child. That is what your child learns. So the next time when your child is saying, yes, mama, yes, mama, coming in 2 minutes, coming in 3 minutes, coming in 4 minutes, just look back. On that day, maybe in the kitchen, when your child called you, what was your answer? Or maybe the next previous day, or maybe the 10 days earlier, maybe the 20 days earlier, or whatever it is, what was your answer? What was the answer from your end when you were in your office call or phone or kitchen or whatever it is? Did you value what you said? Did you value your statement? So if you find something there, yes, I don't want to say anything about it, but if you find something there, the important question is you got to introspect in your experience, however you are dealing with it, right? So once you do that, you will be able to find what is it that I need to say, and how is it that I need to how is it that I need to show up to my child? And when you are doing that, you need not teach your child that, okay, you're not coming in 2 minutes. You got to say 2 minutes to you'll only be saying 2 minutes, 2 minutes. You need not teach anything extra. The way you are changing, the way you are showing up to your child, that is what your child will learn. And maybe you can just remind the child that, okay, are you sure you're going to finish this game in 2 minutes? Yeah. Otherwise, you can just think around and tell me how much time. So that I will just remind you at that after 10 minutes. If it's 10 minutes, I'll remind you after 10 minutes. That's all. I don't want to keep repeatedly reminding you, right? But then the child will actually again consciously think over, okay, I really need like 10 minutes for this game. Okay, mama, I'll take 10 minutes, and then maybe you can again ask your child, do you want me to remind you? And then maybe again you come and remind the child. And all this is happening so beautifully, so consciously, that the parent is speaking out consciously, intentionally. The child is answering, the child is responding consciously and intentionally, and there is perfect harmony in that scene, in that experience, in that scenario. Can you feel it? Can you feel some kind of positive emotions as I'm describing this experience, as I'm describing this scene? Then this is what you can do. This is what you can create between you and your child. It should never be repeated yells, it should never be repeated reminders, but there has to be a conscious flow of words from your end to your child's end and from the child's end to your end. So just make sure you implement this, just a very, very tiny thing. Yes, a very, very tiny change. Just make sure you implement this and let me know how it worked out for you. And below this video, in the description box below, you will see a WhatsApp link through which you can join the WhatsApp group, in which I will give you link for you to register for my upcoming free masterclass on Beyond Parenting. So make sure you join the WhatsApp group and I'll meet you live in my upcoming masterclass. Take care, happy parenting, have a nice day, have a great day, happy parenting, and bye bye.